What's good, YouTube? Got a Yoda here. Today I'm going to drop a ton of free knowledge on you, man. It's going to save you a ton of headaches, probably save the life of your Toyota 22RE, right? So what we're looking at before us is a 22RE flipped upside down, right? This is the lower side of the intake manifold. So I've got the upper attached throttle body, everything's in place, right? What we're going to look at here is all the coolant hoses, bypass hoses, and kind of give you an idea what we're looking at and what part numbers you're going to need to replace. Give you some cheap options, give you some expensive options, but here we go nonetheless. So this is an 88, right? So this has the AIC on it. A lot of your 80s models has it. Here is the AIC as well without, some of the hoses attached. But let's go through the routing diagram on this AIC, right? So on the front of the AIC, you got this big hose. This one I've labeled red. It goes down to this big massive port on the side of the throttle body. Cool. So then we got this orange one right here. This orange one comes off and it goes right here into the AIC. And you have a pink one here. The pink one drops down and that one attaches to the lower portion of the throttle body on the 88 here. Okay. Now let's go over here. We got a gold hose that comes off the back. You got red going to the front of the engine. You got the gold one that hooks back and goes up into the intake manifold right there, that big fat port right there under the cold start injector, right? That one is labeled gold. Okay, that one I've labeled gold. So depending what you need, red, gold, orange, pink. Here we have the green, right? The green is your U-shaped guy right here. That one, it goes into a little 90, a T right here. The orange and the green connect. They come into a T right here. I'll have part numbers for you here in a second, right? And that connects up by the timing chain on the side of the block. Cool. Then you got your coconut. Unfortunately, a lot of these hoses for the air injection and the pair reed have been deleted, right? So I don't have a part number on this yellow guy. Hope and pray you don't destroy it. Good luck with that. As well as a lot of these gaskets are getting kind of hard to locate numbers on, so I've been making a lot of my own. Here you can see you got the steel pipes coming out of the bottom. This would be the one on the passenger side, this curved crooked one. Right, cool. So now you got the coloration here. You can see the coloration. Let's go over here and kind of look at some part numbers and stuff, right? Here's the AIC again. Red in front, gold going towards the back, orange there on the side, pink, and then you got your electrical connector in the back there. Cool. So depending what you need and what your model you're looking at, right? So this is the orange hose, and this one's for the 88 16281-35010. That is the original one for the 80s model. If you want, you can use the 90s model. This is 18223. This is intended for the 90s, but you can actually curve and bend this hose, and I found this actually be a very useful hose. I keep this in my truck and it's like a spare for any and all, you know what I mean? But if you don't want to get the original, this one here from Toyota Parts Deal, these are all the Toyota Parts Deal's numbers. You can get this generic one from AutoZone, O'Reilly's, any of those. This is a Gates, I believe. Yeah, it's a Gates. Cool. So 18223. That will replace this guy back here if you want, or if you want the original, go to toyotapartsdeal.com. Cool. All right, let's look at this. Here we got the pink one. The pink one is 16267-35010. That's your pink one. Here is your gold one, big fat gold one going to the upper intake manifold, 222-33-35-010, right? That's your gold one. If you need the red hose, that one is 222-3435-010, and that is your red. And again, those all correlate to your AIC depending on which one you need, what color you need, which direction you're trying to go with it, right? This is that metal T90 that I was telling you about that actually connects to the green hose, the big fat green hose here. See that guy goes in there? That's the part number 90 for that guy right there, 90407353007. Here's another little 90T. This guy I can't really seem to locate. This is the one that actually comes out by the thermostat housing. This is the 88 model where it has a 90 here. The 90s actually uses a straight one. I recommend deleting this and getting rid of this using the straight one. As you can see, these things rust out regularly, and it's actually getting hard to find this one. So doing the whole 80s 90s conversion will actually delete this, bypass one less problem you have there. I've actually found that if you take the Let me flip this guy over real quick. If you take this guy off where the brake booster is, off your 80s model, 90s model, doesn't matter. If you can take this guy off, find a spare one, that will actually screw into your thermostat housing port and work just fine. Same diameter hose that you would need for a coolant bypass hose, and that would replace that guy right there. I got a part number, I'll drop that in the description later. Here is the metal line, metal tube that comes off the passenger side, right? So the bottom here, bottom of the manifold, you got this bent guy right there. That would be this guy right here, and that is 87208-35160. It also listed as same number, 87208-35170. Don't know the difference, why they got two different part numbers, but they're identical parts. So I've done a lot of trial and error ordering from these guys. Fortunately, the customer service is lacking at Toyota Parts Deal, and they don't actually have a parts guy to answer the phone. So I bought a lot of stuff that I didn't need, but here you go, you get the benefit, guys. This is the green hose. This is Toyota Parts Deal's number, 16261-35030. That's the little U-shaped one. This one is actually a lot cheaper, made by Dayco, and that is 71621. Cool. All right, let's keep moving on. This is the part number for the metal T, 16268353030, and that is actually the one that is right here. This guy that comes off that connects your green and your orange. He's right there. Boom, boom, boom. 16268353030. Cool. A lot of these metal pipes rust out or they get clogged up. I had a guy hit me up on one of my other videos asking why his vehicle is idling poorly. And as you see, all these metal pipes, they can get clogged with debris and gunk, and the hose collapse and it won't pass fluid to this and it won't register correctly, coolant, and then it'll start bogging down, idling wrong. And yeah, that's the culprit there. So by all means, when you can, replace these metal pipes, check and make sure there's no obstructions in these heater bypass hoses, as well as down at the this portion here coming off the throttle body. A lot of these rust off, rot out, but immediately where they connect to the hose, they tend to build up with debris. You got another one coming this way, a blue one. We'll go over that blue one here in a second. Right? All right, so let's keep moving down. This is the metal pipe for the driver's side. There's one that connects to the intake manifold, and it goes up to the heater. The heater hoses. Right, so this would actually bolt towards the front of the engine. By the timing chain cover, it would run along the driver's side of the block, then it would come up, and then the heater hose would come up by the windshield and connect over. And if you need that metal pipe, that one is 87208-35130. Cool. All right, let's talk about heater hoses here. Right, so these are actual heater hoses that connect to these metal pipes. Right, and so that one over there as well. So this is the driver's side. Driver's side is 87245896163. All right, and that's that one piece long one. Cool. If you need the passenger one, or the one that connects to the passenger side tube that comes around the block, you got a short one, and then you got like a check valve, heater valve, and then you got a little shorty piece here, right? So depending on which you need, probably need both, replace both. I would recommend it, even recommend the valve here, but I'll see if I can't get the part number on that. But 872458981, that's the passenger side, the long one, right? You need the passenger side short one. That one is 87245894146. Cool. So now you got the heater hoses, you got most of your metal T's. These are all the hoses for the AIC. Good on those. You got your U-shaped hose. We've talked about these orange ones. These are a lifesaver. I would stock up on these. Again, these can take place with a lot of things. All right. Cool, cool, cool. All right. Now let's look at something real quick here. All right. So let's look at the blue hose. The blue hose is actually the one. Let me set you down for a second there. Sorry about that. But right here on the thermostat housing, this blue hose, you can't really get it at a lot of auto parts stores, right? For whatever reason, this one's kind of bent stupid. It has to go around the thermostat housing, and then you got the whole vacuum tree coming along it, so it needs to be bent a certain way. But the 88, I marked it blue, right? And it goes from here on the side of the thermostat housing, has that bent 90 elbow, like I told you, that guy, right? That I'm going to replace for a straight one when I convert it to the 90s. But that one for the 88, if you want to keep it original, get it from Toyota Parts Deal. Here is their part number, right? 16264-35012. Again, I would recommend deleting this guy and going to the 90s, but you can make it work. If you have the 90s and you're looking for that hose, or you're doing the 90s conversion, there you go, 18222. And that one is a Gates belt, right? And so that one would actually, it would go straight down and in like that. Oops, see that? It wouldn't have the 90, it would have a straight piece that would come down, and then it would hook into the bottom of the throttle body there. It would be awesome. So, good to go there. Actually, you know what? I think I had it the wrong way there. Something like that. There you go. Now we got it going. Cool, cool. Yeah, but 18222, these you can get at O'Reilly's, get locally, get cheaper when you can. Use the generics. I prefer that. Here's another orange hose that you could potentially use. I don't really care for this one. This is a Gates. It's 18010. It's kind of a generic hose that you can bend and flex. You might be able to use it in place of the blue one, right? If need be, you could use that orange one that I was talking about. That orange one has enough curvature in it that you can bend it around and use it for a lot of different things on the 90s, right? That 18223. One thing to be aware of, guys, is unfortunately finding gaskets for a lot of these is, yeah, ridiculous. I can't seem to find part numbers, gasket numbers for a lot of these, and they all have different shaped, inlets, gasket faces. And so, yeah, it can be quite tedious trying to find all the gaskets for these thermostat, housings, heater hose housings. I personally just took some gasket maker, some of this Caro Pack, right, made by Pro, whatever, and just set it on top of there and smacked it with a hammer, and used a razor and cut it out and made my own gaskets, and then made my own set, and that way I could replicate them. A lot of times if you buy a whole engine gasket set, you can get all these gaskets, but at the same time, the gasket set I bought, it still didn't come with these. So be prepared to make your own gaskets. If you have part numbers, or you know part numbers for these type of gaskets, for like say these metal pipes here, by all means, put them in the description. If you know any of the gasket numbers for all these, where the pair reed comes together or the pair reed comes out, hey, by all means, that would be great to know as well. Spread the knowledge. Cool. So let's look at this 90. This is the 90s intake manifold, upper intake manifold, bolted with the 90s throttle body. As you can see, this would be your blue hose. This would be your orange hose. This color coordination coordinates with the same thing here. We got our blue hose here. This would be for my 90s, right? That one would connect there. And then my orange hose, this one here, the 18223, that one would connect there. And that would be the replacement there. The blue one would come around and it would connect here, and then the orange one would actually connect to the bottom of the 90s throttle body, and then to the T. It would just go straight over and into that T. It wouldn't have all this AIC. It would just go straight down like that, and all this would be gone. All right, guys, well, hopefully all these part numbers help. I'm going to drop a ton of part numbers in the description, even part numbers I haven't covered, as far as like the metal pipe for the lower radiator hose, upper and lower radiator hose, as far as the rubbers, all the generic numbers, all the expensive, factory numbers, whatever I can get for you guys. But hopefully it helps. Like, share, and subscribe. Bye.